Hello and thanks for tuning into today's video. Going to have a look at weather the next 8 to 10 days. In today's video, it's going to take us to around the 26th of November, so going towards the end of the month. We're in for a cold snap. We've had very mild conditions through most of this month. Been exceptionally mild, really. But we will be seeing a change. I don't think it'll last all that long, but just for 2 or 3 days at the end of the week and into the weekend, I think we're going to know that we are virtually at winter. So we're in for quite a dramatic change. Briefly, and then probably turning milder again next week. But I think we're going to know that winter is virtually with us just for a day or two over the weekend. Now, bringing along with all of that, just to say about the ads, there's links articles on the page to Gas Office, have a browse the widgets and click through the links if there's any articles that you're interested in, and thanks very much for doing that. There's video ads on most pages, so open having content when you watch them, that close back up again, it's all having to pay for the website. And Gav Shop is open, so if you've got anything shopping to do at Amazon between now and Christmas, just click through the Amazon banners in the Christmas shop. You can see a button to the Christmas shop here on the homepage, so click that and then take to the Christmas shop from there. You just click the Amazon banners, go direct to Amazon, don't need to do anything else, just do your shopping as normal at Amazon. But because you've gone from this website to theirs, we get a review fee on the things that you are purchasing, and thanks very much for doing that. Been a huge success so far this month, so thanks to everybody that's done their Christmas shopping at Amazon via Gav's Weathers. And well, you've still got plenty of time, of course, if you've got any more Christmas presents to buy. So we'll start off with the 500mm high dollars for the next week to 10 days. We've got the ECMWF on the top, the GFS is on the bottom, 500mm, 8,000 feet, is an area in absolute high pressure and low pressure being moved around by jet stream running above. Red extrapolates high pressure, blue to low pressure. So for 8 to 10 days time, this takes us into next week. Both of them show the trough of low pressure, the cold trough, it's going to bring us a cold snap over the weekend. They both show that trough across Scandinavia and Central Europe into next week. That allows this ridge to build out to the west of the country. They both show this strong area of above average heights out to the west. And what's happening is that milder air is toppling around the top of this high pressure system. So the cold air and the trough is being shifted off into Central Europe, and milder air is coming in around the top of high pressure. A very, very classic UK cold snap lasting 2 or 3 days with northerly winds, and then milder air returns around the top of the high. To get a proper locked-in cold pattern, remember, you need to get northern blocking, so you need to centre the high pressure blocking up here over top of the pole. When you get that, you can really lock it in to a cold pattern. This isn't a locked-in cold pattern, so in all likelihood, we'll probably return to westerlies through the course of next week. But don't get wrong, this is going to be quite a potent cold snap coming up from Friday and going into the weekend. You can see this on the GFS temperature and precipitation ensemble. So the red line here is the 30-year temperature average. You can see we're very significantly above average still, as we have been throughout most of November. We're going to stay that way to the end of the week. But at the end of the week, into the weekend, we get this dramatic plunge in the temperature taking place. So cold air shoots down from the north, plunges down from the north. Doesn't last very long. The dates are on the bottom of the chart. So we're talking about 2-3 days, around the 21st through to the 23rd or 24th, and then the temperatures start to recover. Now, they don't go back up next week, which is this part of the chart. They don't go back up to where they are now, but they do go sort of back to average temperature. So an increase in the temperatures after that cold snap. Low precipitation spikes coming up as well, so it's going to be a wet week this week with bands of rain coming through with these mild temperatures. And this cold snap, interestingly, does have some precipitation spikes. So with cold temperatures and precipitation, you certainly wouldn't be ruling out the chance of sleet or snow. And it's going to be a few more days so we can firm up on that. But always in a northerly wind, the greatest chance of snow, of course, is in the north, where we're exposed to that wind. So I think we can say Scotland certainly has a good chance of seeing snow at the end of the week and into weekend. Probably northeastern England as well. As for other parts of the country, we really will have to wait a few days to try and firm up. Beyond that, into next week and the start of December, we get more precipitation spikes coming through, so it really implies bands of rain starting to come back in off the Atlantic Ocean. The temperature anomaly through the coming week, 16th, 24th November, looks still a little bit above average, but cooling down, and I would expect these to continue to cool over the next few days, so we'll keep an eye on these through this week. By the time you get through to about Wednesday, Thursday, I would suspect this will be looking colder than average. Going through to the precipitation anomaly from the 16th to the 24th, generally still a bit above average, but a bit drier down in the south. Again, these should revert drier through the week, so cooler, drier should be the trend as we move through this week with these charts. Here's the GFS for Friday. We've got low pressure through the country, but there's a weather front here which marks the boundary between the cold air that's trying to come down from the north and this mild air that's still with us and has been with us throughout most of the month. Now, it takes a little while for that system to clear through, so to go through into Saturday, still messing around actually trying to bring this northerly down across the country. So a bit of a battle taking place, and there's still some sort of weather front again marking the boundary. It's possible, I'd say no more than that, it's possible we could get an undercut of the cold air with this weather front. If we do, there would be a risk of some sleet or snow, but I think it's most likely just be a band of rain pushing through Friday, Saturday, and then introducing this cold air from the north. It seems a little bit too early to be getting undercut. This is January, maybe we'd have a better chance of undercutting the weather front, but I think mainly probably just going to be rain. But as I say, it's going to be a couple more days before we can start to firm up on our snow risk. By the time we get through to Sunday, we're firmly in this northerly. All that low pressure and the weather fronts have gone off in central, and we're firmly in a cold northerly. That is a very cold northerly wind. If we follow the ice bars back, the air is originating from the North Pole somewhere. So we will know about it on Sunday. I can promise you that if this comes off we're within the -5 ice flow across the whole country, so that's proper wintry air. If this comes off, we will feel a very significant difference. These are the temperatures at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and England and Wales widely at -3, -4, Scotland possibly as low as -7 or -8, will depend on snow cover, of course. So that is a dramatic change on what's gone on so far this November, and I would expect the gardens, particularly where we've got the flowers still hanging on from the summer, I would expect them to get a real shock over the course of the weekend. I think we'll probably all have a bit of a shock, actually. As we go over inside next week, though, this is all ended very quickly. The high pressure by Monday is already starting to slip southwards, so milder air is beginning to topple in around the top of the high, and that continues through into next week. So this is Tuesday. We're still trying to hang on to a northerly wind, but notice most of the cold air now it's across Scandinavia and central eastern parts of Europe as this milder air is running in around the top of the high. And by day 10, which is Thursday, 26th of November, we're back into a westerly flow. High pressure trying to build a little bit across Scandinavia. That's because there's probably by then a deep cold pool with snow cover over Scandinavia, and that can start to generate high pressure. But I would suspect this milder air is going to push in off the Atlantic through the course of next week. The eastern Earth is very similar. Here comes the northerlies going into Friday. We're all in a northerly wind on Saturday. Notice this little disturbance around Iceland. That's some sort of a trough feature. What happens is that runs southwards through into Sunday. Here it comes at midnight on Sunday morning. You have to watch out for that. There could be cold air on the northern eastern side of that trough, milder air on the west, so rain or snow could be possible with that trough running south within this northerly flow. By the time we get through to Monday, we're cutting off the northerly wind as high pressure begins to topple, and as we go through into Tuesday, we're back into a westerly then, with bands of rain beginning to move in off the Atlantic and lift the temperatures, the cold air being shoved off to the east and the northeast. By day 10, which is Thursday, 20th of November, trying to build a bit of a ridge across Central Europe. That's within the cold air, of course, but still, generally for us, we're quite mildish, with more weather fronts trying to come in off the Atlantic Ocean. The GM is very similar. Here we go with the northerly wind through into Saturday, and then as we go through into Sunday, still in that northerly wind. So both Saturday, sunny, cold days, night frost, risk of snow, particularly in the north. And then we move through inside of next week. High pressure topples, milder air begins to roll in around the top of the high, and that takes us through the course of next week, which turns increasingly unsettled with bands of rain and areas of low pressure coming in off the Atlantic Ocean. So we've got good agreement on the progression through the next 8 to 10 days, unusually so. A lot of mild and wet weather coming up through much of this week. Friday is the change as cold air digs into the north. Quite how quickly that cold air gets down to the south, a little bit uncertain, but by the time we get through to the weekend, we should all be within cold air. And a real short, sharp shock of northerly winds Saturday, Sunday. Risk of snow, particularly in the north, but wouldn't rule out the chance of a little bit elsewhere. We will have to firm up on that over the next few days. But it's all ended very quickly, and after a cold weekend, we probably revert back to mild air rolling back in off the Atlantic early next week. So that is the plan today. Of course, it's all a little way off, so things could change. It is subject to change, as ever, with the weather. So keep checking back for more, but that's all now. Thanks for watching.